Evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. It's the first one for the week. We'll do our best to make it worth your while. I'm Yemi Adebayo. A lot going on in the world of sports as we speak. Of course, the proposed European Super League, Soccer League, is what is getting everyone talking, a lot of dimensions to it. A lot of resignations also flying around. It also appears like some English clubs will be jumping ship. Talking about Manchester City and Chelsea. We'll be talking about that. It's going to dominate our thoughts on the show tonight because a lot is currently going on with regards to that. A game currently going on in the English Premier League. We'll talk about that today in Nigeria. The Nigeria Women's Football League Super 6 match day 2. We'll talk about it. We'll also talk about what happened on match day 1 and talk about what happened match day 2, what to expect tomorrow on match day 3. Last week, we talked about the NFF La Liga under 15 promises. We will also continue our review of that. We'll talk about what Lagos State is doing in the aftermath of the National Sports Festival. We'll also talk about the Olympics. We will not forget to continue with our countdown of the biggest multi-sport event, and I dare say the biggest sporting event anywhere on the planet. Talking about the Tokyo Olympics for 2020 to be held in 2021. So that's the outlook of the show tonight. Promises to be exciting. Sit back, relax. We'll do our best to give you all the information you need to have as we take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. Let's bring you into all that we're doing on the show tonight. In case you're wondering, maybe you just joined us for the first time, you want to be a part of it, you want to talk about all of the things I've highlighted, you want to talk about the European Soccer League, you want to talk about English Premier League, you want to talk about the NWFL, you also want to talk about the Olympics, everything and everything in between. So you have the opportunity to do so on the show tonight. Sports Tonight at channelstv.com. If you want to send us a mail on Facebook, drop your comments, Channel 7 Sports. Then on Twitter, at channels_sports. Let's know how you feel about all of these things. And if perhaps there's something that you feel is not getting enough talk time, you can also talk to us on the show. We will love to go in that direction as you let us know what you feel should get some talk time on the show. All right, let's move on. Let's start with the ladies on the show tonight. The Nigeria Women's Football League Super 6. Of course, this year we're going to have the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League. As a result, Nigeria, the Women's League has to be concluded before a certain date so that the winner could emerge, and we'll send the name of that winner to CAF as Nigeria's representative. But let's start with day 1. Edo Queens lost to Delta Queens 2-1. Rivers Angels played a 1-all draw with FC Robo Queens on day 1. Bayelsa Queens also played a 1-all draw with Sunshine Queens. 6 teams involved in the Super 6. So on day 2, of course, you already know that the format of this tournament is for all the teams to play each other once. We're going to have 5 match days. So on day 2, that's today, FC Robo Queens, the Lagos team, defeated Bayelsa Queens 2-0. Sunshine Queens, after playing a draw in their first game, defeated Edo Queens 2-1. The Rivers Angels played a goalless draw with Delta Queens. Both teams have to settle for a share of the spoils in that one. For FC Robo Queens, Money Gift and Lawal Taiwo got the goals, and courtesy of those 2 goals, they were able to defeat Bayelsa Queens, and we'll do our best to see if we can give you some pictures from that in the subsequent matches in the Nigeria Women's Football League currently going down in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, as we do our best to give you coverage of women's football. Okay, so let's move on and talk about the under-15 competition currently going on. Is the NFF La Liga under-15 promises. Let's give you match day 5 results. That's our next spot of call. Match day 5 result. Rivers United lost 2-5 to Adamawa United. Heartland had a slim 1-0 victory over Katsina United. All of this match day 5 results. Warriors had a slim 1-0 victory over Mountain of Fire and Miracles, talking about MFM Football Club. That's the under-15 sides, by the way. All right. So these are results from match day 5. Let's go on and talk about match day 6 fixtures. Match day 6 fixtures in the NPFL La Liga under 15 promises. Match day 6 fixtures, you have them right on your screen. Jigawa Golden Stars will take on IBA Warriors. Aqua United will take on Kora United. Then you have Plateau United will square up against Rangers. That's the outlook of the game. We're going to let you see some pictures of the previous game that had Casina United involved against Rivers United. You're going to see a glimpse. They're going to allow you to catch a glimpse of that game just to show you that these young lads, there you have it, these young lads doing great things, and is equally as competitive as it is in the top flight. And the good thing about all of this is, you know, clubs need to start the development at this level. Every club should have all of this, and we're happy that this NFF La Liga under 15 promises is giving us an opportunity to get this done. So I'm very happy with what I'm seeing, and I hope we're going to be able to sustain the momentum, keep track of these young lads, which is very, very important to do. We'll try our best to also do our part as people who cover the sports to give coverage to all of this. And this is hoping that the authorities too will follow through, then the clubs themselves, because this is an integral part of football development. And hopefully, when everybody does the right thing, everything will work together for the good of football in Nigeria, and everybody will benefit and make it a win-win situation for Nigerian football. Let's move on the show as we listen to the Enugu State Commissioner of Sports, still talking about the NPFL La Liga under 15 promises. Let's listen to him. He has quite a number of things to say. We'll listen to him. Come back for more Sports Tonight.
This is what is called sports development. These are under 15, the age of 15. I was just coming from a Rangers camp now, where they are doing training in the other stadium, and they are going to play tomorrow. So it is a global thing, not just providing for our own team in Enugu, although the advantage of their home base is there. But the government has to provide for all the under 15 of the various clubs in Nigeria, not just the Enugu State. They have to make it conducive for them to come here and play. So if we can provide for people that are coming from Afar, Kaduna, Adamawa, and then talk of Enugu. So we are informed, and that is why we are hosting it here, because we know we have the potential. Take it or leave it. Enugu is home of football. It's not just today. Take it or leave it. Enugu is home of football. There's no legend you mentioned today in the field of football that has not played for Rangers, the living ones today. People like J.J. Okocha, them. Mutu Adepoju is here, this ambassador of La Liga from Spain. They are here. You will interview them then. They are very conversant with here. They are very pleased to be here. They see here as a home. So Enugu, we give kudos to His Excellency, the governor of Enugu State. The feat will be able to achieve. Without him, we can't do nothing. He's a very sports-loving governor.
All right, so that's it. Of course, the effect of the NFF La Liga, NPFL La Liga under 15 promises. You could listen to the Commissioner of Sports in Enugu talking about the achievements, of course, what it means, what all of this could turn out to be in terms of development, and it's very, very good. All right, I've been joined by one of my partners tonight on the show. I'm going to have two more, but let me introduce the one that's with me now. Made it in a rush, not easy. Lagos traffic, we all understand. Kehinde Idris joins us now. Kehinde, good to see you. Thanks for being here tonight.
It's good to be here. You mentioned the odds, but our job always taught us to go against all odds,
Defy the odds,
and get to be here.
brave
Exactly.
the odds.
And I love the what you were treating when I came in, talking about the under 15. A particular picture struck the internet some weeks ago after they got their first call up to the English national team, talking about Mason Mount and Declan Rice. And after the game, they took pictures together and posted pictures while they were young,
While
when they
young.
were about 11 years old, thereabout. And now they are talking about what, 2021 now, and we're growing in that stead. So under 15, you talk about these guys today, but the transition is always where the big question lies. Laudable effort, laudable ideas, because definitely there will be stars from here. And where do we go after discovering those stars? That is where I want to see guys who took pictures together now, and in another 10 years, probably in the biggest leagues in the world, even in the NPFL, talking about big clubs in the NPFL, they are taking pictures together, saying we're here, you know, right from the bottom where we're coming from.
All right. This is also to let you know that, of course, I have two guys standing by, would also be joining in and, of course, making the conversation very robust. There's a lot of ground to cover. Let me just introduce them to you, and, of course, I'll bring them in at one point or the other. Austin Okonakman joins us tonight. Greetings to you, Austin. Thanks for being with us on the show.
Bright and beautiful day in London. Yemi, good to be on the show. A shout out to everyone watching us all over the world.
All right, Shegun Jegede as well joins us tonight. Shegun, it's been a while. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to always be on here. Thank you.
All right, so that's it. Let's just quickly take out some things out of the way, and of course we'll talk about the big one. We'll address the elephant in the room, talking about what's happening in European club football. But before we get to that, let's talk about Lagos State. The Lagos State Football Association, LSFA, has hosted the silver medalist team. Let's talk about the Lagos men's and women's football team at the just concluded 2020 National Sports Festival in Benin City. They were hosted at the Agege Stadium. The LSFA chairman also doubles as the Nigerian Football Federation NFF Vice President, talking about Sheyi Akiomi, appreciated Team Lagos football teams and urged the players to focus on their career and education, which we always talk about right here on Channels TV. Akiomi commended the Lagos State government and the Sports Commission for their support, despite the challenges that the team encountered during the qualifiers and accreditation of players for the festival. LSFA Vice Chairman, talking about Tade Aziz, also described the team's podium finish as golden silver medal. Let's listen to both of them at the event. We'll come back to get the thoughts of Austin, Shegun, and of course, Kehinde in the Lagos studio.
We have learned over time how to work. Before, all of us, Shruti will tell you, all of us, we will all be at the training pitch. But now, we know how to divide the work. And we are more efficient. And we're proud that all our work has come to good fruition.
There is no other way to describe your performances other than to say you have made us as your father FA proud, and you made Lagos State government sincerely proud. We all heard of what happened in Edo. We all have what happened. For all sports, not football only. So if it happened to you, let us take it like that. That means it happened to Nigeria. And that's why I'm saying you won a golden silver.
It was a nice experience because according to the state's philosophy, to represent the state with excellence, which I believe is the sector of excellence. And our boys and the girls, they did very well to make Lagos State proud.
We need to be disciplined at first. Discipline is very important. And we should also obey our coaches, anything they tell us, whether outside the pitch and inside the pitch of the play. We have to abide with them.
Let me say a big thanks to Lagos State also, the LFA, for their honor and the belief they have on us. So I can say if they can still give us another opportunity like this, we will still make Lagos State proud.
So that's it. Let me get Austin's thoughts. Austin is quite familiar with the setup in Lagos, and I want to get his thoughts. The Lagos State Football Association, obviously very impressed with what their team, and you listen to Tade Aziz, even going as far as saying, to me, that was golden silver. They're quite impressed. But I like the fact that they're insisting that, look, concentrate on football, but you also do not neglect your education.
That's what it is. You rightfully said so. I've been following Eco Football and their progress for some time now. If there's anything you want to give thumbs up to Sheyi Akiumi and his board, is the continual reminder that it's not just football, but football and education. And if you take a look at where they are coming from in 2018 at the last festival, this is a serious improvement, making it to the final of the men's football event. And they were so close to winning. They were leading 2-0. And then Edo did, some magic to win it 3-2. That's what Tade Aziz was trying to say, that he should come out and tell us what really happened, because we don't know. But he'll say that it happened to the whole of Nigeria. But it's a good experience for Team Lagos. We know that they've put a lot of work to that team. And then, at this level, we don't just say go to competitions and come back. What's next? That's the charge to the Lagos State Football Association. Let's get them busy. I remember I used to push them a lot about the women's team because they've been doing so much for women's football development. Let's get the ladies play more football, get them busy. I know Barrister Sheyi Akiumi, every year for his birthday celebration, he ensures that they're part of the setup, they play some level of football, but we need to find something constant for them, to keep the consistency going, to sustain this momentum, because this is a good way to, actually assess the level of development, and I think they should do a lot to keep it going.
All right, so that's it. We'll leave it at that. We'll come back to some of the stories later on. Let me bring Shegu in for something that I find very amusing and interesting. Earlier today, the fans blocked the Chelsea team from making it to the stadium. Peter Cech had to come out and appeal to the fans. Currently, their playing is still goalless. And just for laughs, is that in any way affected the players? Because normally you expect at least Chelsea and Brighton, maybe Chelsea. But I want to get your thoughts. That mild drama, just a little comment. We'll go on the break, then we'll come back. But that mild drama that played out today.
Well, fans will always they always show their opinion and how they feel about certain things that happen in football. And we don't want to take it lightly we don't want to take Brighton lightly as well, because they're a very good team there in the Premier League. So I don't think that has anything to do with the scoreline. But, there's a lot of things that are about to be panned out in the next coming days and weeks. I just believe these are interesting times in football, and there's a lot of things that will come out in the open. When one is involved in football, you begin to understand different perspective of how the beautiful game is played out, both on the pitch and behind closed doors.
All right, thank you, Shegun. So that game, by the way, is at halftime. It's still goalless. There's a lot to unpack today, and we're going to go on a break in a few seconds from now. And when we return from that break, like I said, we're going to address the elephant in the room. European Soccer League, Super League is what everybody has been talking about. A lot of comments, has been dividing opinion. Some say it's good for football. Some say it's not. It's against the culture of football. A lot happening. Even government officials are wading in as high as the British Prime Minister, the French President Emmanuel Macron, getting FIFA also getting into it. FIFPro have spoken today. It's a mixed bag. Interesting times ahead in football. We need to go on a break right about now. Of course, when we come back from that break, we'll dive straight into all of the things that I've talked about. All right, welcome back. So let's talk about the big thing in football, getting everybody talking. On one side, you have the big clubs in Europe, 12 of them, 6 from England, talking about forming a Super League. And, of course, Florentino Perez, the guy that seems to be in the center of everything, saying they are fighting for the soul of football. Football is facing a lot of challenges. Of course, they want to save football from sudden death. That's on one side. Then you have the fans, the governing bodies, the countries, of course, some of these clubs have playing their leagues, all of them on one side. So it's been a mixed bag. So that's the setting of all of this. and there's been a lot of controversy about whether or not. So we're beginning to take all of the stories coming out today. But first, let me go to Shegun. We are hearing reports. Reports indicate that Manchester City and Chelsea might be pulling out. We'll go on and talk about all the other angles of the drama, but I mean, what can you tell us about that? Because it's beginning to gather some momentum. The stories everywhere. Is on most of the online publications, even on cable network. The news is everywhere. So what are you hearing?
Well, there's a lot of reports coming out from the press, from the media, from the fans, from different stakeholders in football. But what I would like to state is we have to hold our horses. There's a lot of political power going on. In football, there's a bit of football that has to do with the economics of football, which is what most people don't usually want to talk about. We all believe is for the fans. The game is supposed to be rooted within the community, yes. But when money starts getting involved in these circumstances, everybody starts trying to protect their own interest. Now, I don't think Manchester City or Chelsea have actually come out and state that they're going to pull out. I believe these are still speculations. We have to see how things pan out. But when you look at the whole overview of how things have gone, you have to look at things in different perspectives. Like I said earlier on, you look at UEFA. Different clubs have been trying to get UEFA to come on board to protect their own interests, but it seems UEFA as well, they have some questions to answer in terms of what the clubs want. You just wouldn't have a group of clubs that just want to break out for no just cause, just because of money is part of it. That means there's something brewing under the behind closed doors that these clubs are not happy about. As UEFA stepped in and sort of looked into their plight, or look into how they can resolve the situation, as FIFA gotten involved. So there's different sides to the story. Yes, football is for the people. Yes, it's for the fans. Yes, it's for the community. But at the end of the day, football clubs believe they need money to run the show.
All right.
They've lost a lot of money during this pandemic, and they still have to keep paying. I mean, the people that are involved in football business will understand how difficult it is to get contractual obligations over the line with football clubs these days, because they're losing a lot of money. If they're losing a lot of money, yet you have fans, you have different other stakeholders in the football community wanting bigger clubs to help out smaller clubs, i.e. Premier League clubs, you help out Championship clubs and clubs in the lower league. But where are they going to get the money from? Then we've got other people saying, yes, they've had a lot of money over the years, they've been making a lot of money, but they're spending this money as well. So, this is a kind of worms that's about to be opened. And the last thing I would like to say is everybody is so geared up and talking about this kind of situation. It's a really good development. But have you noticed that whenever there's been an issue of racism, we haven't had this kind of uproar? Why isn't everybody standing up against racism in this same manner that, this whole thing is coming? Everybody just want to protect their pockets. UEFA, FIFA, the Premier League, and the clubs. I just believe that when two elephants are fighting, it's the grass that suffers. Unfortunately, whatever happens in all these circumstances, I just hope the fans are protected as well. But, I feel it's all about, it's a power play and a money play kind of scenario here.
All right. Okay. Let me go to Austin. And also, I'm going to quickly ask you this. You look at the whole situation. Shegun has said, of course, this has been around for a while. We've been hearing this for the past 20 years, and a lot of us thought it's never going to happen. And of course, they preempted what Alexander Seferin was going to come out to say with his own new Champions League format. So he didn't even get a chance to say that because he came out with this. But I'm going to ask you, within the current framework, let's not kid ourselves. Football is business. It's all about money. Within the current framework, is it possible for those clubs yearning for more revenue to get it within the framework, or the Super League is the only outlet they have and they're just going guns blazing?
It's not possible, Yemi. And that's why they're coming up with this league. They have looked at it. Monsieur Wenger mentioned this in 2009. He said with the way foreign ownership is getting into European football, we're definitely going to have a league. He said then that he can't come out and say when, but that he knows that the talks are already going on. So with COVID, I'm the guy that has always been saying that COVID-19 has come to reshuffle the world. It has changed a lot of things. Look, the likes of Perez, Agnelli, Kronka, and those guys that are about this ESL league, they sit at their board meetings with their hands on their cheek, thinking about their huge debt profiles. And somebody in UEFA is cashing out. Yeah, I mean, it's power play. They're saying to themselves that, guys, we are the ones sinking into debt. We need to help ourselves. This is easy bailout route for us now. When Ozil was not playing, they were paying him millions. They were getting into debt. And COVID came and dropped more problems for the big clubs. So, Yemi, they want to get out of it. And they're thinking, we know we have something to leverage on as big brands. These are big teams. And they're saying, look, we can make money on our own. And JP Morgan Chase has said, okay, bam, huge sum of money. Let's go. So why is everybody crying? And as Shegun said, when we shout every day about systemic racism, FIFA and UEFA will just drop one statement and they will not say anything again for 2 months. Everybody is crying now because somebody is trying to cut down their powers. I know that at the end of the day, they need to sit down. All this threat about you will ban this, you will ban that. No disrespect. What was Chelsea until Ibrahimovic came? Money turns Chelsea around. No disrespect. What was Manchester City until Arab money came? Arab money turned Man City around. Why is Real Madrid and Barcelona, the two clubs you always want to talk about in Spain? Money. Bayern Munich and Dortmund, why are they ruling the Bundesliga? Money. Why is Juve on top of almost everybody in Italy? Money. Same thing with AC Milan and Inter Milan. So it is money that is controlling this. Yes, the fans love the game, Yemi, but if the clubs don't put together football, what is there for them to love? Meanwhile, these fans know that it is business, and they put their monies into it to keep the club ideology going. That's why somebody will pay so much to buy season tickets. Somebody that is earning little will save money to buy an Arsenal jersey for the son, for the daughter, and his entire family to support the club. They know it's business. And we are in very difficult times. So these clubs have looked at it and said, well, why we're all thinking of how we'll survive, Seferin and the guys at FIFA, they are not bothered. They are just only about policies. So let everybody feel the heat, bro.
Okay. Kenny Idris, your thoughts on all of this? I could see you were jotting down some points.
Yeah.
But your thoughts in all of this?
You know, when Gianni Infantino came into office, he talked about the plenty money in football. And he actually went talking to each continent, that is continental head, when it comes to football, that come up with competitions, because this money needs to be spread around. When there is money, there is so much politics that will go down. Now, the point I was jotting down, let me start from Roman Abramovich, the owner of Chelsea. He said after the sack of Lampard, that the reason why I had to take Lampard, and no disrespect, he's a legend and all, but if Chelsea does not make it into the Champions League, which has huge money, that Chelsea might suffer a lot, that I needed that money for the Champions League to run a lot at Chelsea. You understand Chelsea is one of the big spenders. Now, taking decisions is one of the reasons why these 12 teams broke out. Decisions will be taken by them in their own league the way it suits them. These guys are absolute businessmen, and they need things to be so comfortable for them because they also put their hard-earned money into this.
Let me pause you a little. Let me just quickly pause you to add. Seferin, in response to what just Seferin said, all of these guys you are talking about, Agnelli, Florentino
Perez, Kroenke,
their pockets are already heavy, lined. So that is just bottom line greed.
Now, let me tell you, about 90 million if you win the Champions League. 90 million euros after all the add-ons. Now, they are telling you there is a league that will come up and you'll be making over 300 million. These guys pay so much for the beautiful game to be this nice. You hear a lot of different angles, and we all enjoy it. Even far away, not to talk of fans who get their way into the stadium, they see beautiful things.
All right.
Just recently, Tottenham $1 billion pound stadium was built, state of the art, very lush.
Yeah.
Now, from Gianni Infantino to Alexander Seferin to Thomas Bach, all administrators, political head in sports, all of these guys have one interest. They want to be the one taking the decision.
Keep the status quo.
Keep the status quo. Keep making the decisions. Now, last year, there was this tweet from Tony Cruz talking about how players and coaches and, club administrators are used as puppets. The head just come out, hey, you guys have to do this, you guys have to do that. There is also the issue of international break. A huge issue. Some people came up with the idea that instead of breaking the league, why not let's finish the league early and you have 2 months for your international break so there won't be break of momentum for teams. These are some of the decisions or some of the discussions that some of these teams have been putting in front of the, whether it's UEFA, whether it's FIFA or CAF or CONCACAF, any of those heads, that they don't get to listen. They feel this is the status quo, this is what we want to do. You cannot just come and tell them. Now, the 12 teams, including some other big teams, are the ones who rack in this money. Hey, in the English Premier League, West Brom and Fulham playing, tell me the kind of TV right money that will come from that. But if Liverpool and Arsenal is playing, if Man U and Man City is playing, you know the kind of monies that we'll get in. This is what they are saying. Hey, we're raking much of the money and we're asking for these few things and you guys cannot give us. We will go to a place where the money will be much, the decisions will be our own to fit us so well, and everybody will be happy. See, whether we want to say it or not, when you bring in the most money, you want more respect. And this is what these 12 teams, and probably some more that will join, are asking.
All right. Let me go to Austin and Segun quickly. Maybe I'll start with Segun. I need a quick response from you. UEFA has threatened that clubs and players that get themselves involved in what they call a disgrace and a shame, talking about the Super League, would not be allowed to compete in the Euros and the World Cup and other sanctions that may be available to them. FIFPro had said something about it, but I want to get your thoughts, Segun. Is that going too far?
In this day and age, you have to negotiate. You can't just say one rule has to fit for all. You have to negotiate. If FIFA, I believe they're a responsible organization and they want to keep this all UEFA Champions League and Europa League and everything smooth in-house. What you begin to see in the next coming days is everybody will start softening their stances. People will start talking behind closed doors, and at the end of the day, a lot of people will have been taken, if I can use the word, for a ride. So we have to always be cautious whose side we go on, what we say. We have to keep our eyes open because there's a big power play going on right now. And I believe UEFA and FIFA will negotiate. But if you are in charge of an organization and you're being threatened, you have to come out and show a big stance against whoever wants to break away. But at the same time, like all my other colleagues have been saying, you have to sit down at the table and look at what these people want. They are the clubs, making the money. They have the players. So I don't think it will be an easy thing to just ban players and ban clubs. If that means if you ban them, you're actually depleting, the elite system. Well, if I can use that word,